Okay, welcome to this edition of Traders Round Table, and I'm going to start off with just a quick review of three trades that I put in the Skype room today. I just found it easier just to study the charts, let the markets open and wiggle their way around, and then just to drop in a few comments in the Skype room throughout the Euro session and the US session, just to keep tabs, so you can keep tabs of what I'm doing. And just so this is a visual record of what I was up to. This is the Euro Yen. I can see all this resistance up here, following the gap down. Well, we couldn't complete the gap as per. Oh no, actually we did more or less. I think the gap fill was right up there. We narrowly missed a gap fill last week, and we've missed a gap fill this week by about the same sort of measure. So the behaviour of the charts this week is pretty much in line with what we saw last Monday as well. So last Monday we saw the Euro Yen push up in the Euro session and then drop in the US session. Same story. So I just shorted up here. Currently up about 50 points at the moment. The other trade I put in was this one. Again, just grab 50 points on this. I've got a lot of UK data tomorrow. This is the pound US. Just liked this 50%. Yeah, it's a big price action here. I'm not suggesting we're going to get a big move up. Who knows? If we get this kind of price action, where we've already had this push to the upside, if we get a drop into the data and that gets bought, so we get a repeat of last week's, then I will definitely maybe start off with a half size position here and then add to it if it starts to close higher. But I just grabbed 50 points off of that one. The other trade was this one. So they're all sort of 60-minute based price action based on a repeat of last week. This is the DAX. So last week I set up here. I'd expect to see 10,500, 10,500. I thought I said up here this was a fake. Unfortunately, it didn't let us just grab this piece. They just rammed it down on Sunday. Unfortunately, it's becoming more and more common with these markets, these algo markets. Pushed up into the Euro session, sold in the US, and then the rest of the week all the retests sold into. So when we came into the market today, we pushed up in the Euro session and then came into this fib level, very, very nice fib level, and then in the reversal time dropped back down to this level here. So this is fibs on this range, and this is playing out, so we're all kept within that range for the whole of the second half of June and this first part of July. Okay, so let's look at what may be around the corner. So that's just about 270 points that I called in this Skype room today. So I know some of you grabbed the DAX, one or two of you grabbed the pound US, so I hope you all grabbed at least some of that action today and making use of your membership. There's a review. I've just spent the weekend reviewing membership services just to really sharpen things up. I'm just starting to look at the website and I can sort of set the existing membership facilities up in a slightly better way. Make sure the timing's better. Make sure people in the room understand the setups, that kind of thing, so that we can all get a better use of the room. And so this is the DAX on the daily. Now I think, as far as I'm concerned, we're just going to continue to get, forget the news, just put the news out of your head and just concentrate on what the charts are showing you. Last week we opened here, pushed up, like I said, pushed up and sold. I think we're going to see a repeat. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any major moves. If we are going to see any major moves, then we need to close above this level here for the bulls, and then we need to close. We need to break this level for the bears. So I would box that. And then look to see if that can indicate to us the direction. Quite a lot of data to get through this week. We've got, let me just remind myself, let me get my journal out. Tomorrow, by the time we get to our screens, we'll have a decision on Aussie rates. We've got pound, manufacturing production, US and CAD trade balance, and UK GDP estimate tomorrow afternoon. And Wednesday we've got FOMC and UK budget, Thursday Aussie jobs, Thursday UK rates. So it's a pretty busy week. So just watch this key level here. In fact, I'm going to take that box out of the way actually. I'm going to keep, oops, I've got rid of the fibs as well. I'm just going to keep this a little bit simpler and just narrow that range down that I'm interested in. Right, let's look at the euro. So euro yen, assuming we finish here, obviously the Asian market's going to get their hands on this in about 3 hours. Come to your screens just tomorrow. Let's just see if we are still at this 135 level. But this is a big level. After that gap down, we are under the 100 and 200 EMA there. So there could, so this is definitely sort of bear land. It's definitely sell zone, unless we can close. I'd want to see that close above that EMA for the bulls, and I want to see that low break for the bears. My bias is obviously bearish because of the way in which we have A gap down and B can't climb above that 570. So Euro US is marginally more bullish on the basis that we have this trend line coming along here. Could be that another touch will be 3 and then through. In other words, come down to these lows again, and this could just give way. But it's, we're getting a higher close. The decision day could be FOMC on Wednesday. So I think I will be watching this one on Wednesday. I'm not going to open the room for FOMC because it's not a particularly pretty time to trade, and quite often the better money, the better opportunities are the day after, not necessarily the day of FOMC. What I would say is FOMC day does tend to be very choppy, so I think the second half of the week is where we can make our money to add to that 270 points. Now, in contrast to the weakness in the euro, the pound is really holding its own. And if you look at this in a 15-minute chart, I'll just pull my 15-minute chart over. We had 2 entries on this. One was in the Euro session and one was on the US session. And I'm absolutely, I've had a good day, but I could have really improved matters if I just grabbed a slice of this cake. I've got real problems with my mouse today. I've got a new one on order. Anyway, I think you get what I'm coming at.
The Symphony No. 1 by Sally Beamish was performed there by the Royal Scottish National Orchestra.
You can see huge amount of support there.
Join us tomorrow when we'll be talking about the
alarmed a lower
Sally
level
Beamish
because
has
it hadn't
found
come
in
down
the
and
music
tested
of
it.
others.
And that was Donald
The jury's
McLeod.
out on this one.
This is Ian Skelly here to guide you through our programmes tonight on BBC Radio 3. And a splendid evening in prospect in our live concert in just a moment. Two of music's greatest geniuses who never met despite being born very near to each other and in exactly the same year. The Brook Street Band
to bust
do
through
the
that.
crowd.
Right, so that
BBC
was a
Radio
good one.
3 is at the 2015 Manchester International
I
Festival.
can't expect to get everything.
Join us
so
for special editions of the Early Music Show and In Tune, presented live from Festival Square.
2 hours of live
bank
music
it and then see what we do to
And with a
next.
festival
thing to do at the right time.
And Brook Street Band, obviously, Brook Street inevitably reminds one of Handel's London residence. Was Handel the sort of first person you thought of when you wanted to play your chamber music with friends?
Definitely. I mean, I think obsessed isn't too strong a word. I've been fairly obsessed with Handel since I was about 13, when I was taken to a performance of Handel's Solomon.
Or Flea. And before that comes another Bach Trio Sonata, and to begin, it's Handel, who was only 18 when he...
And I would suggest a healthy pullback would be 54. I would... Don't chase the markets. If something's already gone and you can't get a good entry, then walk away and find something else. Gold. I was watching this today and hesitated, didn't take it, but I traded this last week on jobs, and although I got in too high, I did make money. But this gold looks as if this could, with a massive amount of resistance up here. So we just got coming into the 20 EMA up there, so that's going to be key. That's quite a firewall up there. With FOMC coming up, I would steer clear because the dollar is going to get volatile. Stocks. Keep an eye on this one. This is an oil stock called Valero, VLO. It's had real relative strength. It's stood up to a very weak oil price. Excuse me. Stood up to a very weak oil price. But I just feel if oil is going to continue low, it's hard to see that one come up. What you could do is do a cheeky trade because we've not got a sell signal. So you could start shorting at one of these levels up here and then come back to the screens at the end of the day and see if we are closing under that for a sell signal. But we have got some divergences up here. This MACD is coincided with lower highs in the RSI and the MACD. So with a divergence like that, the risk is lower and the reward potential is there on VLO. Okay. You can see a lot of these other stocks, we're late to the party on this oil as far as stocks are concerned, because these have just crashed. This one's crashed into 200, and so ever since May 5th, just started to roll over here. Got confirmation. Well, we got confirmation on May 7th. So pull back into that bar, and then the sell-off kicked in. Other potential, let's have a look. I think they're all gone. BTEN. This is why I think VLO is a potential. to wait for confirmation. This is rig. Yeah, just wait till VLO actually puts in a cell signal if you want to play a safer way. Otherwise, just go in with a very small position at these highs. Minus. Right. Okay. So the oil, sorry, the gold is halting these at support levels. So that's Vedanta. That's the UK Vedanta. So if gold is going to pick up, watch this space. GG has done well. It is 2 days of higher close. It's a new low. Matched it next day. Now we've got a higher close. So if you believe gold is going to see some sort of revival, then you might want to buy 1635 on that one with a stop under 1570. Fresnillo, back to this. Let's stick with some UK stuff. That has actually put a hammer in and engulfed the hammer, so it's feeble, but boy is that on good level. So I think Fresnillo is a good stock. Okay, let's look back at the ones I call. Let's look at Rolls-Royce. So it's actually they put in profits warning, and that has dropped to support and found buyers. If we start closing above 800, then I expect that gap to recover. I think, again, cheeky trade. If you're interested in this one, I would look for this level here. Uh, 784. You've got to have your stop under 770. And we have seen drops before on this one. So a nasty drop, pulled back. So this was the range. Stayed in that range from October right through to February. January, February. Once it got above that range, the buyers came in and took it up. So mark off this range again. Again, play it safe. If you're a day trader, play it safe. You may not even get this level. You may just pick up here and go and fill it. But if you see this level holding, you might want to take a trade and see if you can get that one going. Right, let's look at the others. It's Numis. It's a messy chart. I mean, it does actually look as if that could hold. There's a hammer on the 200 there on Numis. Ricardo raced up, put in a reversal bar on the second. I would, if you're interested in shorting this, I would be cheeky and hold out for
what seems to be Handel's very first concerto. That's for oboe and strings in G minor, HWV 287, ending with a final allegro, which he reused several times later in his career. Performed here at Wigmore Hall and live in concert on Radio 3 by the Baroque oboist Alexandra Bellamy with the Brook Street Band.
Let's wait and see.
A different look to what one might expect, with the upper strings on the right-hand side if you looked from the audience.
Well, so now the Brook Street Band reduces in size for the first of this evening's trio sonatas. It's a piece that Bach wrote for the Collegium Musicum in Leipzig, the musical society which had been originally founded by Telemann for students and townspeople,
this is
and
right,
Bach became director in 1729, which made him very much Mr. Music in Leipzig, as cantor of St. Thomas's School and music director of the 4 city churches.
I would hold
the
out
Collegium
for
seems to have given Bach much-needed
595,
relaxation from the politics
like
and intrigue of his church jobs. He needed a lot of music for the Collegium,
so
which went weekly on Friday evenings
some of the
at
miners look as if they may hold here.
In summer.
Retailers and those exposed to
for these
occasional services, etc.
Nonetheless, he didn't compose many trio sonatas. This one, BWV 1039,
well, still like retailers like Carpetright look
and like
vulnerable.
the Handel Concerto we've just heard, it's in 4 movements. The third is bleak.
Got that oil stock VLO that looks vulnerable
by a joyous finale.
And so I'm going to leave it there. And
a bit of rearrangement has gone
forward
on
to suggestions. What are you looking at? What stocks have you got on board? Let me know. Let's talk about those in the room tomorrow. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that session. And look forward to seeing you tomorrow.